What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the royal drama. So people have thoughts about Harry and Meghan's upcoming trip to Nigeria. And so it's been reported that they're going to be traveling to Africa this month at an invitation of the country's chief of defense staff after meeting the couple at the Invictus Games in Germany last year. So now they're being accused of competing with the royal family over Commonwealth countries. So Nigeria's Brigadier General reveled with, quote, honor and delight at having Harry and Meghan visit their country. Royal commentator Tom Bauer believed that they were, quote, playing the royal card. That's wow, playing the royal card, not playing the race card. Now we got playing the royal card. But honestly, hey, it definitely could be making sense. So he told the Daily Mail that it's, quote, become Meghan's and Harry's income lifeline. And the privacy-seeking couple are exploiting the family they have outrageously denounced to pump up their own publicity. And royal author and expert Phil Dampier says that they are using their royal connections for unofficial visits that could blunder into a diplomatic incident if they do something wrong. Now, it is true that a number of countries, they see Harry's Invictus Games as something that's popular, and they could be courting him to bring it to their countries. That would be an opportunity for them because, listen, when it comes down to money, most of the time, the money talks and the BS walks. Now, while she might be traveling with him to Nigeria, which she actually found out through a genealogy test that she is 43% Nigerian. So I don't know, maybe she feels like she wants to get back to her roots, even if it's for publicity purposes, whatever, because she did it on her podcast that's now been canceled on Spotify. But I digress. She will not be accompanying him to go back to the UK when he returns this month. And while he is returning to the UK for the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games, and he had to work out his own security detail and all of that, which I guess he has gotten arranged. As of right now, no one from the royal family is expected to join him when he gives a reading at St. Paul's Cathedral next week, according to the Daily Mail. So he's likely going to attend the event by himself, and then he'll be joining Meghan in Nigeria afterwards. And that's really sad because when you sit and consider everything, family dynamic wise, not the firm, not the business of the working royals or anything like that. Meghan, as far as we know, all she has is her mama. And then Harry, now at this point, he's pretty much isolated himself from his family that I felt like he had a pretty cool relationship with, because it was him, William, and Kate. Even though we know William and Kate are married and they have their own relationship, they were like a real family dynamic, it seemed, at least. And of course, none of us are behind closed doors with any of these people. But what I'm saying is, I know he needed to have his own life. And, if he wanted to, not saying he had to, but if he wanted to be in a relationship and get married and have children, and obviously he's done those things, he should have the right to do so. But Meghan has pretty much, I feel like, my personal opinion, influenced him in such a way where he's isolated himself from his own family. And now his dad, who is of a certain age, has been battling cancer. And his sister-in-law, who he was pretty cool with and close to, she's going through it as well. And were it not for the relationship that he has with his wife, who has allowed, in my personal opinion, things that really should be of no consequence to be like, I'm done with your entire family and I feel like you should be too. Like a lot of stuff that I feel like were petty or just overblown, out of proportion, or to be honest with you, lies. I don't care. I don't believe anybody can get me to believe that King Charles, now King Charles, at the time he was Prince Charles, who walked her down the aisle, gave her away at her wedding, was being racist towards the upcoming child that she was going to be giving birth to speculate what color the child's skin was going to be. And I already discussed that before. That's something that's actually pretty common, especially in melanated and definitely what I know of African American communities, because when babies are born, they more likely than not don't have all of the melanin yet. It gets there eventually. And then when you're in the sun, sometimes you get a little darker and then you lighten back up. So we would look at the top of the baby's ear to see what the full color of the child was eventually going to be. So speculating on, I wonder, what the child is going to look like. I don't believe that King Charles or anyone close to Harry in that way was speculating whether the child was going to have dark skin. And that, honestly, I also don't believe that either, because she's not even dark skinned. And she's done her best to look as far from having any roots of ethnicity, melanin, African American anyway, because she keeps her hair flat ironed. If you look at pictures of her from when she was younger, that's not her true hair texture. She keeps it flat ironed. She wants to make sure that you will never see one strand of hair curled up, period. So like I said, I feel like it's sad that he's going to be there in the UK. The royal family is likely not to join him as he gives this reading at St. Paul's Cathedral. So it's honestly like why even go? I mean, like seriously. I feel that it's really sad, because I feel that he has allowed issues that she has made to be bigger than what they really were to cause this rift between him and his own family. I'm not saying that a husband shouldn't be there supportive of their wife. I'm all for that. I 100% love seeing that, but to a certain degree, but at any rate, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and you can let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and I'll let you know, what some people had to say. One person said the royal family has dealt with one crushing move after another, and Harry and his wife have responded with their own crushing moves. It's tiresome to read or even hear about. Harry's mother has passed. His father is fighting terminal cancer. His brother and he are estranged. Neither one seems to need the other, and William has much bigger issues to think about, parentheses, his wife's recovery and becoming the king, than fighting with Harry and Meghan. I think finding another country to host them is a good idea. I would say Harry doesn't need them and they don't need Harry, and that is that. Another one says Charles is battling cancer, as is Catherine. I imagine the family members are pretty much consumed with that right now and probably feel that Harry can deal with hosting the games without their input. Illness and disease has a tendency to consume an entire family. I know this from watching my husband battling his Parkinson's disease. Man. All family members are drained by this and have little energy or interest in doing much of anything else at this point. And another comment, actions have consequences. The royals understand they can't change Harry, but they can make choices about how to engage with him or not. Everyone's life is like that, I think. The royals aren't immune. And I have to agree with that. Listen, this is heavy, but when you're going through illnesses, sickness, and disease, it absolutely is draining. It really is. I've even been dealing with it in my own family, and it's a lot. And you do your best to push through and not look like it's affecting you, but sometimes it does, because you're a human being. So just because they have to be in the public eye, and they're the firm and they're the working royals and doing all of the charitable things that they do and the other things that they do. And they have to kind of like not really show much emotion and things like that. They're human beings. And I'm quite sure dealing with physical hurt and pain from the illnesses that they are experiencing, as well as the emotional hurt and pain that they've experienced from the person that they, I believe, still love, but they are estranged from, it's got to be a lot. So I couldn't imagine them wanting to be around him at this time either. But it's also almost like a slap in the face to be there and not see them at all either. So anyway, guys, you can let me know what you feel about this in the comment section below. Thanks so much for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.